This is the stream. It's just not waiting for stream until 3.0 goes fucking live. Potato face! That's true, I'm gonna time you out for a good 5 seconds, maybe. That's gonna teach you a lesson. You can be wherever you want. Kel, Lindy, Rex. Whatever's comfortable for you, mate. Not sure why World of the Wars happened. War of the Worlds, that's the one. Hello, and welcome to some Star Citizen streaminess. So typically, this is Star Citizen talky stuff. While I can't show any gameplay of 3.0 and some of the stuff, I thought we'd do our own little podcast every so often. Seems to be a few times a week at the moment. Because I like talking about Star Citizen, I like answering questions. And this is mostly answering questions. So we'll talk about some other stuff as well, obviously. In brackets, put question if you want to ask a question about anything. Now, obviously, 3.0 is with the avocados, the avocati. I'm an avocati, and there is stuff I can't answer about the avocati content and exactly what is happening with certain things. But with the commonly asked questions of when will 3.0 be going to wider PT that more people get into, I have no clue. That is literally, even if I was a dev and privy to all the information about all the bugs and exactly what they wanted to release, they still wouldn't know how long it would take to fix certain bugs. That's why they have that burn down. Potentially it could be weeks or it could be months. It'll be ready when it's ready. I do think a lot of people will be happy with 3.0. With 3.0 features and ships and all that sort of jazz, you can see it on the production report. You can see what they've got planned for it. It's not as if the Avocati are getting like super mega surprises or anything. It's what CIG have told us. So just bear that in mind with a lot of the stuff. Also, Avocati is not running around fun and games. Woo! We're playing all day. Woo! Games! It's a chore. It's bug hunting. There's lots of issues with bugs, and it can be stressful for Avocati, and it can be stressful for people when they realise that the Avocati don't actually do any bug fixing. They look for symptoms. This bug, how is it being caused? Not even how is it being caused. What causes this bug to happen? Why does door disappear? Or why is no floor? Why no floor? And they'll find that bug and how it happens in multiple different ways, and then report on that. That's an example of Avocati, and that's what they're supposed to do. And then CIG and devs, they look at those problems, they work out what causes them, and then they work out the treatment. They're the GPs, they're the doctors. Whereas, thank you very much, Pro Hellion, you're a fucking legend. I always see you everywhere. I'm sure you've subbed like 2 or 3 times in the last month. Is that a sex doll on your wall? No. So today I haven't got the green screen up. I've been building a PC. It's a test bench PC. I missed earlier the processor arriving, which is annoying because it's an 8700K. So I'll have to finish building it tomorrow. But it should be pretty sexy. It's going to go on my desktop over here. I'm moving my bedroom around, which is why the green screen is up not again, and cleaning stuff and moving stuff around. You can see into my room. There's you can't really see the walls, but there's loads of Star Citizen canvas art from various fan art backers stuff. There's some Yogscast things. I was into Yogscast when I was younger. I still respect Yodscasters for their business models and stuff. There's Mercy from Overwatch. I've got a Diva the same size over there. My sex doll. Cool Star Citizen art signed by everyone from CitizenCon 2015. I'll show. My back wall's covered in Star Citizen art stuff, but that's signed by Twin and Chris and Sandy and all the peeps that were at 2015 CitizenCon. But yeah. So I'm getting old now. I say old. I'm just unfit, really unfit. But yes, so I'll answer any questions I can. Obviously, there's loads of Evocati stuff that I can't answer. I'll try and answer Evocati questions in a sweeping generalisation of saying, typically, Evocati patches are buggy and stuff like that. Sorry, I will try and stop stroking my beard as well. It's a terrible habit I have. I haven't had a beard properly before in my life, other than the last, 18 months. It was on and off, and then it's kind of stuck. I might shave it off when 3.0 comes out, but I think maybe just maintaining it. I mean, some people look at my face and think it's reversed. Not like inside out, but upside down. Mainly children. Yes, we've got an ATV tonight. I want to get a video done on the improved gameplay experience of ships and multi-crew ships. So that will be looking at ship's cockpits, ship interaction, turrets. Obviously, they've done loads of work on the turret experience, and all that sort of stuff's going to be in 3.0 as well. And that's one of the reasons that 3.0 has probably been delayed so much. We've got issues like with AI subsumption and the planetary tech that they wanted to implement and they put in, and then just a much better experience for the players, multi-crew and flight model wise and stuff like that. So a lot of that's going into 3.0 or new iterations of that, and that's one of the major kind of delay factors. I understand you can't share gameplay, but can you share the secret ingredients of Pizza 3.0? No, you will never know. Something I can't give you the secret ingredients. If it was kittens, that would be upsetting. Yeah, so I also want them to give us a direct statement on exactly what they're going to be doing with the Redeemer. The Redeemer, for people that don't know, is a ship that was built by fans. It was by the guys that won the Next Great Starship. And one of those guys, or possibly even two of them, actually worked for CIG for a time as well after that. I think at least one of them, I think Amir Switzer's still there, although he's the lighting guru. Was he in Next Great Starship? But one of the other guys that actually made the Redeemer has since left, I believe. And the Redeemer seems to have... The Vanguard Hoplite seems to have taken the Redeemer's spot in Squadron 42 and a lot of the intended gameplay that the Redeemer was going to have. And the Redeemer is one of the only, if not the only, hangar-ready ship that's not flight-ready. Now, it's not really hangar-ready. It needs to be entirely reworked. And I suspect that would be the biggest rework of any ship that's ever been, if they do that. It will basically go to second phase concept, is my expectation. But they haven't told us much about it other than it's not a high-priority ship. I do want them to go into a lot more detail, exactly what they've got planned for all of the patches going forward. So I want to know what's going to be, where do they see all the mechanics falling? Salvage, mining, medical stuff, the full economy, the beta release of the game, the live release. Just in rough, what sort of patch that can, or time frames, patches, whatever. We all know that's going to be like their guesstimates at times and dates and targets. So it doesn't matter if it keeps on changing, or even if mechanics move around in the system because some are ready before others, or they have bugs with some. But I just want to see it roughly planned out because that's what I want from the open development. I want a roadmap. It can change. They can fucking port it all over the place, but hopefully we will. So. What can you talk about so we know what we can ask? You can ask kind of anything you want. I mean, anything about 3.0 is fine. Anything about directly, like, what are you testing in the Evocati 3.0 is probably not fine. So in 3.0, we don't really have the ability to my knowledge anyway, to share missions with teammates or to gift money or share stuff. I believe that is coming in 3.1. We're going to be able to buy ships of that of UEC. in 3.1. And it's either going to be 3.1 or 3.2, I believe, when I was talking to Aaron about it. The ability to have like player contracts, or at least sharing missions and the service beacons and that sort of stuff. I do think it's a 3.1 feature, or at least some way of sharing money and trading with other players. Ready when it's ready with every mechanic. Yeah, but it's nice to know, like, in 3.1 we're getting mining and the ability to buy ships. In 3.2, are we getting salvage? Are we getting this? Are we getting that? Just the rough kind of... and then after that we're getting medical stuff. We had that before, but they just removed it. And I'd like to see that just updated relatively regularly. I've got quite a powerful firewall, which I set up a while ago, which makes testing of stuff difficult sometimes. I'll say that. It's certainly an Evocati build. In regards to bugs and regards to play, it's certainly Evocati. So I think they said there's like 17 archetypes of missions in 3.0 or something. It's hard to say. So types of missions, I don't actually know. You have to wait until a little bit later on, I suspect, and all of them implemented and that sort of stuff as well. Obviously, the variance of the modular mission system means that you've got a load of changes on just the basic missions. So you'll have like pickup missions, assassinate missions, collect missions, counter missions to collection. There's quite a few if you break it down like that. But they're all pretty basic missions. We're not going to see capital ships in 3.0. I mean, you'll see all the ships that we got in 2.6.3, and you'll see the Dragonfly, the Nox, the Ursa Rover, the Prospector, the Constellation Aquila, and the Aurora and Cutlass Black rework. You're not going to see any like super surprises. Oh, that said, they have said that there is a giant derelict ship of some kind, and that could be a Javelin, that could be a Bengal, that could be a Vandal Driller, it could be a Kingship. We don't really know what that is yet. I think as well that they might keep those kind of spoilers out of the Evocati and the PTU. That's my expectation of those as well. Can you talk about base building? So base building will be a thing one day. It's not a theorycraft thing. A while ago, when Chris was talking to, and this is like a couple of years ago, he was talking to some Italian backers, I believe. He was talking about bases and the ability to build bases on planets. That's since evolved, where this outpost system, you can actually see some of it on screen at the moment. This is the first iteration of buildings on planets, which will be modular buildings, and so they can spawn them, and then they'll be able to spawn towns, and eventually procedural cities, and all kind of based on the same system, but base building will be in there as well, and that will be player-made bases. They've given examples where a drugs kind of manufacturing ring will have cutlasses, they'll build a landing pad, they'll have storage for their drugs, and chemicals, like proper chemical vats. They have like a sciencey facility where they can actually make the drugs. They can have fuel and supply storage as well for their ships, and then they'd gather all the components for the drugs, drop them off. Then when the drugs are manufactured, pick them up and go off and smuggle them. But a lot of the theorycraft fan-wise is about like static defences and that sort of stuff. But yeah, there will be player-built bases in the game. We don't know the exact features and all that sort of jazz for it. They keep on like talking little bits about it occasionally. I suspect we'll learn a lot more at CitizenCon, or at least people will probably interview people at CitizenCon about it. So 3.0, if you're a Star Citizen lover of the project, 3.0 is a big thing. It's a big thing. And for some people that are on the fence, it's going to be good. If anyone's literally expecting 3.0 to be a full game of something, it's not going to be that. The game is still an alpha. We're not going to have anything approaching a sit-down playable game that is easy to play without any problems, and that you can get your friends into easily, like, bam, guys, let's all jump in, bam, 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 until, like, beta. So think a couple of years, 2019 sort of thing. Now, it's very appealing to people that love Star Citizen. It's very appealing to space game fans, to Wing Commander fans, and that sort of stuff. And for people that want to get involved with the project, that sit down and go, I wish I could change the meta of this game. I wish I could have my say. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. 3.0 is great for that. You can see the foundations of the game. You can see these great building blocks. We're going to see the game iterated on a lot faster. But it depends on what your hype engine is attracted to. That, for me, is a big fucking hypey thing. But even look at planets, but look at oh, everything is fucking super pretty. Like, super pretty in Star Citizen. And if the issue is that, is there going to be enough tangible gameplay for someone that wants to sit down and play a full game to be able to play? And the answer is probably no. Or, yeah, but only for, like, a month or two of, like, of a good amount of play every day. Because then you're going to have done everything. The missions are going to be varied, but they're not going to be so varied that you've like haven't done them all. And there's not going to be enough to buy until we get ships available in 3.1. When you've got ships available to buy in 3.1, fucking great, because there's loads of tangible hooks for the gameplay. I want to try that ship. I don't want to buy it with real money. I want to buy a freelancer. I want to buy all of the flyable ships. And that's something you'll be able to do. But in 3.0, there's just a couple of tricks I think they've missed with that. And we won't know. They might fiddle with stuff. And we won't know until the PTU exactly. Well, probably not until live build exactly what's 100% content locked. Although I very much suspect that everything in the production report is pretty much content locked. It's possible that we could see a PTU for CitizenCon. It's possible, definitely. It's probably unlikely. Although, if they fix the majority of the major EVA-CAR-T bugs and get this stuff stable, they could do a first wave PTU, potentially earlier than would be advisable. But I don't know. As I said, with the EVA-CAR-T stuff, even if I was at liberty to disclose stuff, I still wouldn't know shit about timescales for how long it takes them to fix a bug. Something that seems incredibly simple to me might be a month's work, or something that seems like really, really complex might just be a click of a button. So I believe you resupply your oxygen at outposts. I believe you can go to an outpost, assuming that we saw in ATV a while ago that they weren't sealed up properly, the outposts. I believe that's fixed. You can go in there and just you have your oxygen resupplied, I believe, or at least you can take your helmet off. But in the future, I believe that you're going to have to buy oxygen, and then and that sort of stuff. So oxygen will have a value, so it make exploration a lot more cooler. I mean, I suspect there'll be like things to manufacture oxygen on your ship, for oxygen like containers and canisters. What do I have to do to gain access to the PTU? So the PTU first wave build isn't out yet. To get early access or earlier access to the PTU waves, because it will come out in waves. First wave are people that have been... 1 second, that was a gunshot, I think. No, it's good. It's good. I think it was a motorbike or something. We're all good. I was like panicked then. Like, come on, no. Oh. It's not. Oh, we're good. We're good. We're alive. What were we doing? What were we doing? I got interrupted. Do you think we'll get an Avenger rework? So we're definitely going to have updates to all of the ships in some way. Now, they're not going to be these big giant reworks. For example, the Sabre and the Vanguard, kind of like surprise, have had their cockpits reworked to quite a high standard. And like stuff done with relighting them and things like that. So ships are always going to have little updates which are to do with lighting, materials, sometimes light modelling work, sometimes things moved around. We're going to get less and less of that stage now that 3.0 is coming out though, because They converted all the ships over to Item System 2.0 and have done a lot of the reworking stuff that they needed to do. Yeah, we're going to have a bit of a rework to the Mustang. Yeah, we're going to have a bit of a rework to the 300 series. They're not going to be these giant, super major reworks, though. They are going to be typically light modelling, materials updates, that sort of stuff. I mean, some people were talking about the 300 series possibly having like similar to the 600 series nacelles, instead of the just open gaps. That would be amazing if that happens, because I actually quite like the look of them. But we don't 100% know. His gunshot runs outside. No, I was like... sorry. Not a rough overhead at all. Subsystem management in 3.0. Are secondary cockpit seats useful yet? Oh, so the intention with 3.0 is to have better turret gameplay and, as we'll probably see from ATV later tonight, generally better subsystem and cockpit gameplay. So they will be more useful in 3.0. I don't know to what extent. They need to raise the time to kill for a lot of stuff. They need to have power and management systems done a lot better. At the moment in ships, in like 2.6.3 for example, you can have all of your engines on full, your shields on full, and all your weapons powered. That's not going to be the case in the future. That's going to be dialed back, so you have to actually allocate power to systems in a much more reasoned way. And obviously they'll put it all to your engines. You're not going to be able to have much powerful shield and weapons and stuff like that. So there is going to be a lot of management there. So yeah, I don't know to what extent that is been done for 3.0 yet. Mining is in 3.1, not in 3.0. Do you know if and when the economy and persistence systems will be introduced to Star Citizen? So we have more persistence in 3.0, and we have the first iteration of the economy that's actually an economy. It's going to be using price fixers tools. It's going to be semi-responsive. It's very early. It's not a proper economy, but it's going to be a first iteration of something that will be built upon. I don't know when we're getting full true economy. I mean, 3.1's economy will be a lot better by ships. And there'll obviously be lots of iterations and obviously lots more subsystems and things to buy, I suspect. Have they implemented missions to 3.0 yet? Yeah, mission systems in 3.0. And I probably wouldn't, even if I could talk about that. Oh, I see what you mean for the Evocati. Can't talk about exactly what's the Evocati. I suspect you would have to play quite a lot of those missions, though, for them to become repetitive, but that's entirely relative to you. Do you play for 8 hours a day? If you do, you'll probably find missions in 3.0 getting repetitive quite quickly. We won't know if the game runs or feels better until later into the PTU, nor will we know exactly how many people will be able to be in server, because CIG obviously want to put as many as they can in. Expect 24, hope for 36 or more than 24. I believe it will run better. By the time we have a live build, it should run better than 2.6.3. I genuinely believe that, and I suspect there will be a significant boost in performance offline and online. So they have improved the server tech. They've improved a load. There's much better use of multi-threading. There's much better use of CPU and GPU stuff. There's loads of improvements. It's just, it would be impossible to give good answers what an Evocati like to go, well, this means this because of Evocati or whatever. So, do you think the oxygen craters are a clear sign of base building by players that is to come on platform? Well, it's an additional thing that they'll have to think about. So when we talk about survival mechanics and base building and that sort of stuff, and that sort of thing, I like the idea of oxygen generators and heat generators and stuff for bases kind of needing to be there to prevent like you having to wear suits all the time, and like environmental hazards will be a thing. So having heat generators, for example, would prevent you getting blizzarded to death. So yeah, I like that idea, and I think that's a good kind of survival mechanic to have Star Citizen. Because then you have like remote bases in like an Arctic section of a planet because you want to hide, but at the right distance you'll be able to see a load of heat coming from it. The latest news on 3.1 is that 3.1 will have mining. 3.1 will have the ability to buy ships with Alpha UBC. But other than that, we don't know too much about 3.1. It's gonna have the first performance-based increases from object container streaming, because 3.0, one of the major reasons they rebuilt the PU and the major reasons that it's taken so long to do everything is object containers, which are essential for Star Citizen success, not just for performance, but for capital ship battles, for performance gains, for networking stuff, for server meshing, for loads of things they need to get these object container streamings stuff done properly. So basically, object containers in 3.0 cut the system up into multiple boxes. That's pretty much it for 3.0. In 3.1, it will then render, spawn, despawn, well, cull, and render in stuff based on where you are. And it goes, this is all the props we need because they're in this object container, these object containers are part of this object container, and it basically is this box-in-box performance boost thing that's like the hierarchy of boxes. It's really fucking important. I've done videos on it before. That was probably the worst explanation I've done of it ever. Can you explain how turrets are supposed to work with Item System 2.0? At one point, you might be able to slave a turret. Yeah, so we're going to be able to slave turrets. So basically, with slave turret would be a manned turret, which you go, it can only shoot forward, but the pilot can shoot it. So he doesn't need a man in there, is the idea. Those turrets, though, they're getting a lot better gameplay. We saw on the ATV recently, they've been fiddling around with getting the turret experience feeling a lot better. It needs to be that having a person in that turret, rather than an NPC, rather than an AI module, rather than slaving it, is the best choice. Because you need to go, well, human player should be the best choice to run these turrets in almost every situation. I suspect it will be really fucking good when they're done. We've got it. We can see in the ATV that they were able to stabilize the turrets so they're not going constantly, and they were able to hit targets a lot better. I think it needs to get a lot better still. Multi-crew is one of the reasons that a lot of people love the idea of the game, why they've backed the game, and we haven't been able to use multi-crew up to now very well. Like, it's been very sort of like buggy as fuck. What's the point in having a turret gunner? We haven't got that much ability to control the other systems in any meaningful way. So 3.0 does give a lot more for that, with Item System 2.0 being in there. It's still alpha though, still building on that. So expect a lot more than we've had previously, but don't expect the entire world. But again, with 3.0, feedback is going to be essential once it gets into everyone's hands. It's going to be like, I like this, I hate this, more of this, more better turret gameplay, more system control. When we were to link up snub chips to... so, I think they wanted it in 3.0, but I don't think it's in 3.0. Not sure. I suspect it will be in 3.1, the Parasite docking undocking. They originally wanted it in 3.0, but I think it was... I think they said it was cut, but I'm not sure. I couldn't find my source for it being in 3.0 with the other thing, so apologies for that. We'll be able to create more than one character in 3.0. You'll be able to customize your character. So no, you won't be able to create more. You'll be able to customize him. You'll be able to go, I'm changing my face. It's going to be very basic customization. I haven't had anything about the Taurus. You know anything? I know they're working on the Phoenix at the moment. Don't know much about the Taurus, to be honest. Not at the moment. Sorry, I don't know actually much about what the Taurus is being worked on. Bear with me. Let's bring up what I've got on my screen. Let's have a look for you. So, every Friday, the schedule report is edited, and so is this graph. Extent. It's a very rough look at certain things. Phoenix is being worked on. Constellation Taurus. It may very well be done. Here's a link to what I'm looking at. It may very well be done. I'm not told us for some reason. I'd like to see the Taurus as well, because Taurus was one of the first ships that got me into modularity of Star Citizen and like the buying more and more ships. I was like, all right, $150. I'm going to buy Taurus because you start at the bottom end of the constellations and you can build it up. And the idea of adding value to a ship is really appealing to me. Yeah, if you've used the ARF turret on the Starfarer, you would see a ton of blind spots for turrets for visibility. So yeah, the turrets need to be on those ships, have reasonable visibility. So some of them probably need to be moved, but they also need to feel like you can repel pirates. Even on those, even on some of those cargo ships and stuff, you still need to feel like you've got a chance against some ships. We'll be able to create more than one character. That's Sergeant Red. We'll be able to mix clothing and armor pieces together. So there's an undersuit that you have. So if you're wearing any form of armor, that goes over your civilian clothing, basically. So you wear civilian clothing or armor at any one time. But yes, you can mix and match. Just think of them as two separate things. So civvies, you can do lots of stuff with civilian clothing, mix and match stuff, and you can do the same with armor. You can mix and match armor, but you can't mix and match civilian clothing with armor. Not yet, anyway. So if you want to keep LTI when melting a ship, you shouldn't melt it. You should upgrade. So you go to the upgrade section instead and upgrade it to the latest one. Another way of getting LTI is when a ship comes out, buy that ship and then upgrade to whatever other ship you want. Remember, question in brackets, and I will try and answer your question if so possible. So it would be an option for a manned turret to be kind of used only by the pilot. Yes, so that's what slaving is. If you slave it, you get the turret that would normally have a man in it that prepares to spin around. It doesn't spin around anymore, it just points towards the front of the pit where the pilot's facing. We don't 100% know how food's going to work in the game. We know more about how they're going to interact with food, the NPCs and players, than we do what it will actually do for you. They've talked about light survival mechanics, like you might need to eat and drink to survive over long periods of time, or there might be buffs and stuff. You might need to cater for your NPCs if you've got crew, but we don't 100% know how it's going to work. Those mechanics have yet to be given to us in any meaningful way. I'd like to see design documents for a lot of these mechanics as well, even in their rough states. I don't mind if they haven't been fully fleshed out yet. I'm okay with that. So there are certainly different effects on 3.0. I'm not sure what weather systems we will have in 3.0. If we have any, they will be pretty basic. But they've talked about blizzards. They've talked about the electric storms on Daymar, stuff like that. So I'm hoping to see all that. You'll certainly see cool effects. You'll certainly see atmospheric conditions in some ways, and you'll be like, ooh, and like dust and things. Can we buy like a storage in game? I don't know what you mean. There's a storage container. I'm not sure if the storage containers work yet. The UPC is good. I'm waiting for the process to come. That's the case over there for it. It's the bench case. So I'll be able to swap components in and out of it a lot easier and be able to do benchmarks of various hardware and that sort of stuff. At the moment, I'm going to buy... My next channel goal stuff is going to be... I was going to get a recording and streaming server. But I don't need to do that because of the power of the new rig. But I do need a load of fucking hard drive space. So I'm going to buy like I don't know, 12 terabytes of storage. And then use that for recording content at lossless and storing loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of videos and things that I need for content creation. It just makes sense. It's a smarter thing to do. Any ideas if we're going to extend the damage state before you get destroyed? So yes, in the future, Pete the Fat Dog, they want to have the times to kill, especially of larger ships, to be greater. So yeah, the idea is that power relays will blow out in your ship and you'll need to run around and repair stuff, and you'll have chances to repair and run around your ship and do things. Yep. There's also going to be different like death states, like not even if you critically damage a ship, it's not always going to explode. In fact, it might be rare for the ships to explode, and much more likely for them to be crippled. or be crippled and people trying to repair them while they're being boarded and stuff like that. So yeah, and there's also going to be different death flourishes and things. Should I mount all my ships for Carrack in the sit console, or should I play with my existing ships in 3.0 first? I can't answer that question for you. I would personally play with all my ships first in 3.0. I don't know when the Carrack is 100% coming out. I don't know if you'll have another chance before a Carrack, before it like goes up in price or something. So I can't really help you there, Deep Star. You're about to get a Carrack in game, so maybe keep your ships, play them in 3.0, play Carrack in game. Maybe, I don't know. Is there any way to know when you're going to be live before you go live? Yeah, I'm going to start putting schedules up, Bonnie. So I'll get schedules up. Everyone will be happy. I'll be happy. We'll be like, woo! Got a fucking schedule. Carrack is under heavy production. Yes. So the Carrack is undergoing its production. Oh no! Well, Foundry 42 are creating that Carrack, so it probably will grow in size somewhat. When I next go on an office tour, which will probably be early next year, I'll ask questions about all the ships. Like, I'll make sure I get a big list of questions from everyone, and then I'll find out as much information as I can, and then I'll try and make as much of that information as shareable as possible. I think CIG are treating me more and more like a genuine kind of press outlet. So, are you going to be eventually? Are there going to be eventually such large worlds that you'll be able to just walk around them for hours, just exploring the landscape, such as caves and more? Yes. Yes. Eventually, yeah. I'm not in the short term. I'm not sure how much content and how much gameplay there would be walking around. But you can do that, for example, in 3.0 with the moons. But they're obviously relatively barren. There's stuff going on, and they're quite pretty, some of them, like Daymar's cool, but there's not much there. But yes, there's going to be some planets and some worlds you can walk around for hours just exploring. I would suggest bringing a buggy, though. Thanks to you, DC Mining, much appreciated. Like these, you are trying to help, appreciate. I wonder how much 3.0 having in-game currency purchasable ships will affect their ship sales. Do you think they will shift to discounted UEC sales as part of the ongoing funding, with each reset simply refunding you UEC? So with Alpha UEC purchases in-game, they will literally be wiped occasionally. Alpha UEC purchases, Alpha UEC money that you can earn in-game in Alpha is just for testing. So just bear that in mind. I think that being able to buy ships in-game with in-game money will increase the real cash sales of ships. Because more people are able to play the game, there'll be more people playing, there'll be people testing out ships that they want to buy, and there'll be a lot more people supporting the game financially. I think that's, to me, that's the only way my brain could see it. I don't see them losing any money from that. I don't see people not buying ships because they can get them in-game. I don't think that's what Star Citizen's kind of funding model was anyway. People want to back the game. Yeah, some of them want their ships, and some of them are trying to pay to win. And people that have tried to pay to win are going to be sorely disappointed. Not that sort of thing. But you do pay to get a bit of a time advantage when you buy those ships. You're like, I start the game with this ship because I love it. But it's not this big pay to win thing, unfortunately. Otherwise, a lot of us that bought a lot of ships would be like, woo, we win. I'd still rather have a lock. If it moves the turrets, it could get more difficult to track the target through the eclipsed area of the ship. Yeah, I mean, they are still working on stuff like that as well. I suspect on larger ships, though, like big ships, even it would be impractical to slave a lot of the turrets. Do you think we'll ever see another Freelancer rework after Cutlass? Yeah, we're going to see the Freelancer Max and Freelancer Dur, in fact. We're going to be working on it. Yeah, it could be a unique hull, the Taurus. I always thought it was modular originally. Like, I thought you maybe be able to put the hardpoint and stuff back on, the turret hardpoint, and but it might be an actual hull change. No, I do not consider Star Citizen pay to win at all. So pay to win for me would mean that there would be items that you could only get by paying for them. It would also mean that stuff wouldn't be easily accessible in game, which is not the case because even if you buy an interest, you're going to need people to crew it. It just kind of adds more flavour to the verse, having almost inequality effectively at the start. The people that want to buy those big ships or ships get together with an org and buy them, rent other people's, borrow other people's. There's load of stuff going on like that. So I don't think it's pay to win at all. But and also, what do you define as a win condition? Well, for me, I suppose it's earning lots of UEC constantly, but that makes me a very special boy. And yeah, there's definitely a time advantage in buying ships if you don't want to grind. Yeah. Well, the Octane driver will be big enough to hold the game. Oh, the whole game in cache. I don't know. People are suspecting like Star Citizen to be 100 gigs when they release, when it's actually fully released. So, the Reclaim is my favourite ship by far. Right, let's go back to some of these questions. Do you think Intel's Optane will provide any benefits in Star Citizen? I think that the Optane stuff, it'll be say like optimized for Star Citizen or something bullshit like that. I think it's just going to be very good at high-end games. I think it's going to be like a RAM drive kind of thing. Any loading times will be minimal, like the most minimal, and I suspect it will reduce stutter and that sort of stuff. I think, yeah, they're going to be solid drives for gaming. I don't know how much better they're going to be in SSDs, like tangibly better, because there's diminishing returns and stuff like that quite quickly. We'll test the fuck out of them. I will be buying one, and we'll be using it, and we'll be telling you about it, whether it's good or not. And whether it's worth buying. Probably won't be worth buying unless you're super high-end enthusiast. Make sure you put brackets before the question. Feel free to ask your questions again if I've not answered them. Try to remember that I may have answered your question and you might not have heard it. There's some things I obviously can't answer, and just don't spam. You can, like, every 5 minutes or something you can post it though. According to the report, female locomotion comes in 3.1. Isn't that the female model then? Effectively, yes. Female locomotion is effectively the female model. Probably. It could just mean full female locomotion for NPCs, but it will probably be the female model. Because they basically wanted to get a full one-to-one of the men's model and motions, which they hadn't finished, so they couldn't do the woman's, the females. The real question is, when is 3.0 releasing to everyone? We don't know. I wouldn't be able to even guess at it really. Although I will. It could be weeks, could be months. We don't know. Something that could be a simple bug might actually take ages to fix. Something that's really complicated might be a single button click fix. But we'll find out more tomorrow about where they are with the shopping experience bugs. Because the Evocati were testing the core gameplay and traversal and the moving around the new system and all that sort of jazz. They should be moving on to like the shopping experience and stuff like that, and then probably like maybe missions or combat or something like that afterwards. And we know they've separated these bugs down into lists, and they're currently working on 17 bugs. Last we heard, that are all for the shopping experience. So once the idea is that once Star Citizen goes live, so a live release, they're no longer going to be selling ships like they were. They will sell game packages with a ship, so it'll be a limited amount of ships, like think up to Constellation sized, with a game package, and then they're going to be selling UEC in game. But it's going to be regulated. It's because they've identified the fact there's always going to be a black market and a grey market for Star Citizen, and they want to help regulate that. Thank you very much for the sub. Really fucking appreciate it. Woo! You can put... No, actually, I'll sort that shit that minute. I don't know where that's going to be. Where is it? No, bad Star Citizen video. I've been watching so much Star Citizen recently. Bored. Yes! Oh my fucking god. Fucking eat that emote. I'm updating my emotes soon as well, so you're going to fucking munching on emotes soon. You'll be like, oh my god, so many emotes. Thank you very much. Shooter66. Fucking love your face. I will one day make it to Not So Sober Saturday. I've let BoredGamer down twice ages ago with it, just because it was at 4 AM in the fucking morning, and I don't sleep very well. So yeah, I will eventually, and I'll have to give a ship away or something for him and apologise a lot. I love Grey. He's one of my faves. My green screen is down because I'm moving stuff around my room. Behind the woods, it's actually like the green screen is kind of there. It's just out of shot almost. It's building up here and moving stuff around my room, and it's impractical for me to put up the green screen. I just wanted to stream for like an hour and a half, and just chat for a while. Yes, so the idea is that we don't know 100%. Is that the Optane thing will be significantly better than a solid state drive, like a bit 30 times faster or something, but we don't exactly know. Do you actually mean people cheating in game with hacking? No, I don't think so. I think that in the short term of the alpha, I do think people will get hacks, possibly even the beta. There'll be some form of hacking, but that will probably get fixed before a live build. Yes, there's been lots of talk about player-built bases. Player-built bases will be in the game. We're hoping to see more at CitizenCon. We don't know, though. We're able to buy ship parts in 3.0. Yes, you're able to buy ship systems and ship weapons, as well as FPS weapons and armor, and that sort of gear. So there's going to be lots of customization you can do with your ship with the new item system 2.0, and lots of new things to buy. So there is a gameplay hook. It's just it'd be a much better gameplay hook if it was ships to purchase. Last night I was playing around on the Ark space map and stumbled across Crusader. I noticed how close everything was on the map, and then realised how far it is, how big. Yeah. Can we buy some hangar decorations with Alpha UVC in 3.0? Probably, actually. There's a load of new shops that are coming in, so I suspect some of them might be hangar-y, flowery ones. And they'll probably want to test stuff like that, the persistence. Lots of the stuff they want to do for 3.0 is test their persistence and the the PTU build a lot, with everyone's customizations of stuff and make sure it sticks. Do you foresee CIG being creative and adding random events in a system to spice things up? Yes, the mission system will certainly have stuff like that. It will probably be relatively dynamically reactive as well to your ship and what you're doing as well, so that it might have some random events that are kind of dynamically geared to your level, if you see what I mean. Your equipment, maybe. Or they might just go, no, fuck you, have an interest, fight that. We're about to pick up the missiles we use in combat in 3.0. Yes, you're about to... Oh. Yeah, I think you're about to buy missiles and change them out in 3.0 without having to do them through the fucking website or anything. Yes, you should be able to. That's the intention anyway. If I had a Taurus, is there a way to upgrade to the Andromeda without real money? You'll be able to make the Andromeda very similar. You may have to make the Taurus very similar to the Andromeda with in-game money. Lots of the ships are pretty modular. Obviously, when the full games comes out, you'll be able to buy everything in-game with in-game money. In 3.0, you should be able to... or in 3.1, I suppose, when the Taurus is going to be there, you'll be able to customize it to be pretty similar. But obviously, you could just trade it in and get the Andromeda instead. Thank you very much. I am an upside-down headed man. That's what children say about me. Mummy, why is his head upside down? Thanks. Thanks, Hell Legion. That makes more sense about your name. Thank you very much. How big is the EVA Takata testbed? I can't divulge that information. Will the B-52 be standard issue on the Aquila? Yes. Yes, it is. Standard issue on the Aquila. Just trying to make sure I thought it was the Pisces or the P-72 for a second. It's the P-52 and the Ursa rover you get with the Constellation Aquila. Happy birthday, Chelsea, yesterday. Now. Is it possible to join Is it possible to join Redacted as a streamer? So as streamery stuff is more Twerk and Saurus's domain, but you're more than welcome to join up the Discord and start talking about it, or message them about it. I will happily try and help anyone that wants to stream or or create content to the best of my ability. I've made some documents because obviously I don't have much time, but I can give feedback on things. I can give pokes and hints, and you should get this and you should do this, and I can give you some of the documents that I give to the other redacted guys about best practices on YouTube and things like that. So yes, it's always possible, and I think we'll probably always be looking for more content creators for redacted. Yeah, so always more than willing to ask or focus with stuff. There's very specific avocado questions that you can't answer. How open will procedural cities be, and how functional will they be? We don't 100% know, actually. And we know that they're building procedural cities, but we don't know how functional they're going to be. They're definitely going to be like geometry based, so they'll be physicalized in some way. We don't know if that's for being explorable or just so that we're flying over through flight corridors when we're landing on city planets, because we're not allowed to go off that particular route, otherwise we get shot down or something. So we don't know. I mean, I hope they're reasonably open, but we don't want them too open because I want them highly detailed, and you probably can't have really open, highly detailed, massive cities to the scale of planets. Can you describe in detail why there's a torso on my wall? Can you describe in detail why there's not a torso in your wall? Look! Okay, so I used to LARP, and I used to have costumes on that. And now it's just my torso, you know. Game changer equals microtransaction casino yachts. Oh my fucking god. Casinos in game, man. Although, that said, gambling games might become like fully removed. Reading legislation to prevent any form of gambling, even if it's for in-game currencies. Will ship cockpits be interactive and clickable? Yes, in 3.0 as well. You're gonna have a lot of fun with the interaction system in 3.0. It's gonna be pretty good for a lot of people. They'll be like, oh, this is actually not bad. This is a fringe case, but will the R350R and Herald owners be able to exploit modules to get nearly infinite boost? No. So what you got to remember that sort of shit will be balanced, like quite genuinely will be balanced. So if that's the intention for them to have a good amount of boost constantly, yeah. If it's not, then no. TIG said on the Gamescom live stream that the Evocati 3.0 build was 40 gigs. Cool. Do you know how hangars will connect to the PU? So eventually, hangars and everything else will all be part of the PU. There's not going to be select Area 18 or select hangar. It's just all going to be persistent universe. You'll have to travel to your hangar, and you'll have to travel to Arc Corp Area 18. That's not in the very short term, but that will be pretty soon. That will all be crunched together. And that's one of the things that object container streaming is there for, and the object container streaming system. I don't know the player, the base mechanics and org mechanics for bases yet either. Again, hoping to find out more soon. When our hangars are put in the PU, will we get to decide where they go? That's the intention, yes. So there'll be some locations you can choose to put your hangars, and then you should you have multiple hangars, you can put them multiple hangars out. What ships am I expecting to go on SitCon? I don't know. My brain gets confused between the Anniversary Sale and CitizenCon. So typically over the two, you'll have pretty much all of them that have ever been on sale, including Idris's and like a couple of Javelins and stuff. Limited ships and some limited number ships as well. I don't know. I mean, I kind of know what the Game Changer is. I'm pretty sure I know what it is. But I don't know its exact size or anything. I don't know if it would be a capital ship. Well, technically a capital ship is a ship of war as well, so it wouldn't be a capital ship, but I mean, in Star Citizen, I suppose it means something else. I don't know exactly how big it's going to be. In 3.0 and /3.1, will the only requirement for owning any ship just having the UEC to pay for it? No, though, yeah, that. So in 3.1, when you're able to buy ships, there should just be the ability to buy them from shops. In the future, some ships, so like when for example, when the game goes live, championships, you might have to know people to buy them off. They might be very rare or private sales. It's like a Banu merchantman, for example. You could buy off a player, or you could buy off the Banu if you were super friendly with them. Like a particular Banu mission representative. If you like did 1 billion missions for him, he might go, oh, I've got a Banu for sale. Got a Banu merchantman for sale. And he might literally only have one, which first person to buy it that gets that kind of rank with him above 2, and then maybe he'll get another one later or something. So yeah, in the future there may be a rarity of some of the ships, like the F8 Lightning. It's a military UEE ship, pretty hard to get. You should get it from the UEE, buy it off another player, or steal it. We don't know when 3.1 will be out. We certainly don't fucking even know when 3.0 will be out. You know how hangers will... Yeah, read that. You won't be restricted to any form of career path, no. You should be able to have full freedom of movement as an entrepreneur. Will hitboxes be smaller on the female characters? So they will be, I suppose they will be, although at least they'll be different, because a woman will have booby boobs and possibly curvier thighy thighs, and maybe a bigger bummy bum. So they will just be in different places. But I think the female model is shorter, so they will be different. And I'm sure there will be a min-max. Actually, it's the female model dies 1.3% times less than the male model. That's how min-maxes talk, like me. I know you can't talk much about the Evocati, but can you speak to your enjoyment and how you are feeling about 2.6.3 to 3.0? Excluding Evocati stuff, I'm very excited about 3.0, mainly because we haven't had a patch in a long time. There is a lot of tangible gameplay for 3.0. There's a lot of gameplay that I want to do with 3.0. So yes, I'm massively excited for it, and it's the biggest, most important patch that Star Citizen, other than when it goes to beta and other when it goes to live, will probably ever have. Super important. It's the foundation and building blocks of the actual game, and it's starting to move beyond a tech demo to actually this is a proper alpha now, and then a couple of years, almost certainly, well, start to be looking towards a beta. 2/3 of the female characters will actually be dudes. Dun dun dun. Follow-up question: are you making a skin suit? Silence of the Lambs. It puts the lotion on its skin. I need a hose. Thank you. I got your dog, mister. We appreciate all your content, Bored. Just wanted to say thanks and keep up the good work. Is there any fixes for controllers and HOTAS coming? So I believe that more controllers will be supported, and controllers will be supported more natively and generally better. What you really want to do is talk to about the controller stuff, although I will have a working knowledge of it. Noobify will and Twerk will know more. That sort of stuff. And when we can talk about it, we will. But expect from every major patch for the controllers to work a bit better, be a bit more sensible, and be a bit, more optimized. So if I don't win this month's giveaway, would it be a wide choice to upgrade my freelancer miss to a Constellation Aquila? I don't know. The freelancer miss is an unknown quantity to me. It's like it's got a missile reloading system on the fly, and it literally depends on how they balance missiles for the game. If missiles are slightly OP, then that freelancer miss is a fucking monster. It'll just rip apart stuff. If it's not, then the Constellation Aquila might actually be a better choice. I don't know. Sorry, that's probably not what you wanted to hear. Like, I don't know. How many snub fighters and dragonflies can you stuff into a merchantman? We don't know how many we can get in the merchantman until it's built out. But I suspect quite a few. I suspect that actually a lot of sales of snubs and dragonflies will be done via a merchantman as well. Will Black Dragonfly come out for 3.0? I believe the intention is to have the skins for the Nox and the Dragonfly as well. So you'd have the black and yellow Dragonfly, you'd have the silver and black Nox as well. That's the intention, I believe. I don't know if there's going to be jiggle physics for the women's or for the larger men's. Also, I want to know, will we see various body shapes and sizes? I don't know. Yeah, the smuggling will start to be a thing, but proper smuggling rather than just moving cargo won't be in. Well, certainly not in 3.0. Right, smuggle proper cargo and hide it around your ship and stuff. I don't know when that's going to be in. I have 50 ships. Can I spawn them all in 3.0, or is there a limit? That is one of the things, the sort of things that we'll be finding out in the PTU, the Evocati and PTU. So that's the sort of stuff that CIG will probably go, should we limit this? Or should we just let them fucking get crazy? How much better is the cockpit experience and the quantum travel compared to 2.6.3? The intention for 3.0 is to make it the cockpit experience and everything, and the turret experience and multi-crew experience a lot better in 3.0 because of item system 2.0 and general just obviously lots of stuff needed to be fixed and iterated on. You will see a lot more tonight on the cockpit experience in ATV if you watch that. But I'll do a video on the improved cockpit experience and the improved turret experience and general improved multi-crew in a video probably by the weekend. Will male and female characters have different... Yeah, we already talked about that. Is there VR support? So no officials VR support yet. They will have a native VR support in the future for all major headsets was the plan. You can get it working unofficially though, and there's a couple of guys that have got it working, and one of them was chatting to me and is sharing his information with CIG. In 3.0, as soon as it goes to PTU, I will start to try and do some VR content
Tricksy
with it.
little hobbitses.
I didn't want to fuck around with the Evocati and you know, Oculus stuff. Thank you very much, Time for Curse. I fucking love your face. Thank you for subbing. Any ships you don't have that you want to pick up in the next sale? Yes. So the Game Changer is probably the only one. Probably. Oh, possibly a Vanguard Sentinel. Yeah. I love the... E-War will be one of the other things I specialise in. I want to do economy, industry, understand all of that. Obviously, I want to be involved in like big battles and boarding and things like that as well. But E-War is something else I want to not really understand. Can I tarp to cover ships on the ground? It sounds like a good idea. There's going to be base building. I suspect there'll be items like that you can chuck over your ship. Makes sense. You don't want invis in the game. You don't want like cloaking, but like ammo netting and stuff. Makes sense. Thank you very much, Coat 85. Good year of birth, 85. Powerful YouTubers. They're handsome, powerful YouTubers were born that year. Do you think the Freelancer Max rework size will increase compared to the old Hangar model? Probably not. Oh, fuck you, Papa Boone! Donate all the money! Thank you very much, Papa Boone. I fucking love your face. He doesn't even put a message in. He's just giving me money and run. Thank you so much. That's, yeah. Thank you. I get a lot, I seem to get a lot of donations and a lot of Patreon love, and, I fucking love the community. I love my community. I love the Freelancers community in general, but I love my community. My community is fucking amazing. You guys are kind of rock, but I always find it odd that people want to donate, especially when I go like, I want to buy hard drives, and people go, woo, buy hard drives. It's like, cool. I mean, it's just for the channel and stuff. It's just, thank you so much. Like, really fucking appreciate it. Basically, the that sort of support that I've had advances the channel like by a year, probably. It's like a year ahead of what I wanted. Been able to buy that whole rig. Will the Game Changer shit be affordable to buy? So it's going to be a niche thing. I suspect all like big orgs and stuff will want one. Big civilian jobs. They'll probably all big orgs will always want stuff like that. But it's not going to be for everyone. That's going to be important mechanically and that sort of thing. So I don't know how much it's going to be. I don't know how big it's going to be. I don't know how the mechanics of it are going to work, so I can't work out how... I don't know. It's for me, in my head, it's between $350 all the way up to, like, $900. It's like, it could be any priced in there. Is there any ship that's larger than a freelancer, but smaller than a constellation? I don't think so. The Cutlass back's pretty big now. I don't think there is at the moment. No, that's alright. Is repairing and boarding in 3.1? Well, technically, there's some light boarding in 3.0, because you can lock your outer doors of your ship in 3.0, and you can blow up doors in 3.0. That is the breaching mechanics in 3.0. There's the locking and that sort of stuff. So you will be boarding off ships, and there's going to be more chances of disabling ships, I suppose, in 3.0 as well, because of item system 2.0. I'm not sure if repairing and boarding is going to be in 3.1 to a greater extent, although I'd expect it. I'd expect hand tool repairs and swapping out components of broken systems in 3.1. Expect there's going to be quite a lot of smaller gameplay mechanics that are sort of not done for 3.0 but will come straight afterwards for 3.1. Do we keep our bide suits and in-game money when 3.0 comes out? No. Anything that was bought with Alpha UEC, you will not keep between major patches. Always assume that. Be really happily surprised if you do, but always assume they won't. So from 2.6.3 to 3.0 to 3.1, you'll keep all your UEC purchases, Alpha UEC purchases, and Alpha UEC items will get wiped. It just will be in Squadron 42, that is correct. Thank you very much for the love, by the way. Any words from Network Bind, Unbind? So that's going to be 3.1, I believe. So 3.1 will probably be the hugest performance boost that we get. And then 3.2 will finish off object container streaming and some more of the network iteration stuff before they start to, I assume, start to try and push on as many people in the server as possible and then server meshing. So Network 1 Unbind expected for 3.1 or 3.2 and suspect big gains to starting to get network-wise with more players getting to server beyond 3.1. We're worried about piracy being a rude awakening for people that just don't want to participate in such things. So in 3.0 and before we have like a large system, before we have more places to go, you're going to have to participate in piracy even if you don't want to. The intention for the full game is that pirates won't be able to operate in certain systems because they're too well policed by the UEE and there's too many detections for them. But if you are a guy cargo hauling and you go, I want to go to this system, and you know you're going through some dangerous systems, you could get ambushed by players or NPCs that are pirates at any time during that. Get pulled out of your quantum travel and just owned if they do it really well. Just bear that in mind. Risk reward. If you do it, if you're just going to be traveling in safe systems, might be less profit, might take you a lot longer. That's a much smaller chance of happening, like tiny, if you stick to certain systems. So piracy is a really important part of the game, and I have a lot of respect for non-dickhead player pirates that want to, because I've chatted to some of the Matadors the other day. I'm reviving my Org Spotlight series, and I'll be looking at big orgs, small orgs, medium-sized orgs, mostly in the short term orgs they're going to be active in 3.0, just so I can get players to the orgs that will be good for them, at least in the short term, hopefully permanently. Because I think having an org is so important in Star Citizen, and having the right org is essential. So, can't remember what I was talking about, but, you know. Oh yeah, player pirates. So piracy is going to be really important gameplay. So as long as they're not dickhead griefer pirates, like, I can kill you, shagged your mum, like that kind of, I'm going to kill you just because I can, even though they can make more money by extorting you, by going, well, we'll escort you. Oh no, you're mining here by yourself. This is our territory, dude, but it's fine. You pay us the rights to mine here. You don't own this. Yeah, we do. shut your filthy mouth. Pay us this money, and we'll escort you to wherever you need to go. And they might even fight off other pirates for you as they take you there and charge you even more. But that's the sort of piracy that I want. Sensible, opportunistic, not just, I killed another player, lol, look at him cry. That's not piracy. That's people being dicks. The proper pirates and cool. It's the other side of the coin. It will make gameplay interesting. And yeah, you'll probably be able to avoid that, meeting those players, but you'll have to stay in safer zones. I haven't got a PC yet, and I would absolutely... I need to know the brand of hardware I should get such a big game. Any suggestions? You have to do research online, Nathan. If you're really struggling money-wise, or we've got a very limited budget, there's a couple of videos on my channel where I've built $300 PCs to play Star Citizen, and that's $300 pretty much for everything. You can grab a Dell T3500 old server or old workstation for like $100, and then literally chuck an RX 480 or a 1060 or something in there, or a 1050, or probably even a 1030. I need to get a 1030 actually to test out how good they are for Star Citizen. They're probably pretty shit, but I need to test that anyway. So, yeah, check those out on my channel. I will also be on my Discord and on my Reddit. I will have sections for people buying PCs for Star Citizen to discuss stuff and to get help from other people. So that will be there in the future as well. We don't 100% know about the need to eat and drink in game. They've discussed it, and they said that they'll you might need to eat and drink in game. It might give you a buff. It might you might need to do it to not die. But it's not going to be like constantly need to eat like you're some sort of fucking super hungry man. Nom nom. Larger and smaller. Yeah, so realistically, ATV is out on Friday at 4 AM in the morning, UTC. It's kind of about when it hits normally. Yeah, it's a good point. It's not really out on Thursday. What ships do you think will be able to carry Titan armor too big for Redeemer? See, after the Redeemer rework, that ship's going to have to be reworked. So we don't know if it's going to be too big for the Redeemer. Though I suspect the intention will be that it probably can carry a Titan suit. We don't know how big the Titan suits are going to be either at the moment. They messed around with them apparently in engine. They were too big or too long because they had size 1 ship weapons for the arms, and they were just super long, so they couldn't move around corridors. So I suspect the intention is that you'd like them to be able to move in corridors. So expect them to be very, very, very super heavy suits of armor rather than mechs or anything. Possibly between like super heavy armor and like a power loader, between that sort of size. I'm hoping that for the Titan suits, there will be different variants of them. So you could have like maybe... I think 2 size 1 ship weapons might not be great for the intended gameplay of them. I think that might make them too powerful. I would like let them have 2 shoulder-mounted weapons instead. You can have shoulder-mounted like railguns that the players can have, and like rocket launchers and things like that. So why not give the Titan the ability to use 2 of them? Something like that. And then have them more mobile. UPC is cool. I'm waiting for... Sit there. I'm waiting for the CPU to be delivered tomorrow, and then I'll get it finished. I've been copying loads of stuff over to my hard drive. I'm getting a USB stick ready with Windows, the latest version of Windows 10 on. To phone up. The annoying thing is I don't want to do, so I have to phone up Microsoft tomorrow when I install Windows 10, because all of my fucking keys have to be entirely legit, which is really fucking annoying. But you know, I have to phone up Microsoft and go, "This is me. Give me install instructions." They give you a fucking code. How do you keep things straight in your head? NDA versus no NDA? Well, questions are quite easy because people either ask something about the Ivocati or don't. And 3.0 questions I can answer because all the 3.0 information's out there. Also, there have been potential leaks on the Star Citizen Reddit and that sort of thing with what's in the patches and stuff, and they kind of showed that 3.0 that's in the production report is the same as the 3.0 builds, or it's got some of the stuff, even if it's broken or buggy, that the Ivocati had. So originally, when the first time I was doing content with the Ivocati patch, because I suffer from quite bad anxiety condition, I was panicky as fuck. I was like, oh god, and like me and Twerk were like, oh, we're worried about saying everything, but not so much anymore because I kind of understand. I understand it a lot better, the NDA and stuff now. When you do anything like that, when you sign NDAs or Ivocati stuff, Someone was complaining to me the other day, actually, that they were like, "Oh, you should make a video about the watermarks in the Evocati stuff, because apparently there's watermarks in Evocati videos if you record, so they can't leak. They can like basically track who leaks." It was on Reddit and stuff. Someone was talking to me and sending me messages about that you should make a video on this to inform Evocati, and it's like, why? Like, Evocati are fully aware of their restrictions and their NDA, and I shouldn't make a video telling them how to avoid breaking their NDA, or that they're going to get caught if they break their NDA, because they shouldn't be breaking it. Like, ugh. That sort of shit. Like, oh, but I only broke the rules because I thought I wouldn't get caught. That kind of annoys me. That's very unfair, but you know. But conversely, I will eat up any leaks that I see online. Like, I'm an information monster, and I'm full of juxtaposition. I always like more info. It's just more people complaining about, like, oh, I only break the rules because I thought I wouldn't get caught. It's like, okay, well. Genesis, what's the point? Everyone already had a ship, shuttles NPCs for an in-game fee. Yeah, but there might be shuttling crews for ships or bases and stuff like that as well. The Genesis might serve more purposes than you think. Also, there might be, like, take people to the races, take people to major events and stuff, like a fuck ton of NPCs when I go to an event. So yeah, you make money by taking NPCs around, but also occasionally players, and sometimes it will be effectively to transport those NPCs almost as cargo to a job site. What I'm expecting anyway. Will the new Cutlass be able to go through the small jump points like the Freelancer? We don't know enough about jump points yet. So we originally had there was going to be small, medium, and large, but we don't know anymore. We don't really know exactly how that's all going to work. Because of CitizenCon's Exploring New Worlds theme, I suspect they will talk about it at some point, and so maybe we'll know more then. If my Aquila is destroyed, but the Urza and Snub Fighter isn't, the ship hypothetically empty, will they be replaced by insurance? Oh, that's a really interesting question, because I'm not sure if insurance treats the whole package as a ship or not. I believe it should treat each individual thing on your account as a separate insurance claim, although I don't know. It's a good point, and it's something I will test. Will ships only explode if they're hit in the reactor? So, I believe the intention is to only have ships destroyed if there is reasons for them to be destroyed from a hit. So yeah, it would have to be a chain reaction or hitting the reactor or something. There's going to be much more likely that ships will go be crippled and be like, their power plants are fucked. They can't do anything. The engine's entirely destroyed or whatever. So yeah, that's much more likely to happen. Obviously, smaller ships highly likely to explode, I suppose, because a component exploding in those ships could just blow it up from the inside. Jumping between systems, any news? No, not much at the moment, unfortunately. What happens to a player who loses his ship without the theft without insurance? So obviously in 3.0, every ship has exactly the same insurance, so you don't have to worry about that. In the future, when the game goes live, ships should have at least 3 to 6 months of insurance, so you don't have to worry immediately. And if you are flying around without hull insurance for your ship, well, then you are asking for like a loss to happen. I suspect it will warn you and stuff. But yeah, if you went out and willfully did it without insurance, you would potentially, or you would lose your ship. You had no insurance, it got stolen, you would lose your ship. Oh, so I've talked a little bit about quantum interdiction. The working idea they were talking about was that you'd have some form of generator, whether it be a ship or an item that you deploy, and we don't know which yet. And you can set the how large an area you want to quantum interdict, basically, and that's going to be how accurately you are able to disrupt people's paths that go through that. So if you hit the edge of that, if you've got a really large area, yeah, say you hit the edge of that, you're going to be able to warp in, spin up your warp drive, and get out before the pirates are able to react where you are in such a large bubble. Yeah, so you want to get that quantum interdiction as small as possible. But quantum interdiction is going to be detectable by scanners as well, and things like that. So you'll be like, oh, I'm searching with quantum interdiction. I can see that something's powering up here. That's someone quantum interdicting. So we don't know exactly all of the mechanics or anything like that, but that's how they were talking about it a little while ago, about a year ago. Yeah, so they need to get the crime and crime, punishment, and all that sort of stuff, system and reputation really, really well done, and security and consequences. That's the sort of things that we as a community need to help CIG with to make sure it's fucking perfect. Because you want things that are accidental to be fined and that sort of stuff. But if you keep on doing something accidental constantly, you want it to maybe make you a criminal. Like flying in front of other people's flight paths when you're trying to land and stuff could be a criminal offence if you do it enough. But obviously murdering someone or ramming ships and that sort of stuff, they need to be quite quick on the, yeah, you're not allowed to go near this zone anymore, otherwise you get shot, or the police are hunting you, or whatever. We pay massive fines. But there's lots of stuff they can do, and they need to go through it and work out what prevents certain behaviour, what encourages other behaviour, risk reward. There's loads of stuff for balance for criminal and reputation and stuff. Our server's going to be larger than the 20. So they want more players in for 3.0. We don't know how many. Expect 24, but towards the end of the PTU, we'll find out. We don't know how it's going to how many it's going to be. And it should be easier to play with your friends. Co-test Avocado, you slacker. I'm probably not going to be playing any like Uvkite or anything. I've got really strong firewall up at the moment anyway, for various reasons. Until I get my computer done tomorrow. So when I'm done here in a bit, I'm going to eat, and then I'm going to chill the fuck out because I haven't rested in ages. Hello. Will some ships not be able to hover on planets and fly like a normal aeroplane? I don't know. I am hoping that they change some more of the planetary... so, flight in atmosphere and flight on planets and gravity need to have more of an effect. And they need to make your ships feel a lot more weighty, in my opinion. From this Gamescom 3.0 footage we've got here, ships just didn't feel weighty enough or look weighty enough. Some... yeah, I think that there's going to be like big wind and lots of other factors as well, which will make it like, well, it's harder to fly. But I do want some ships to fly really badly in atmosphere, and I want some to fly really well, and I want them to fly differently, like significantly differently in atmosphere. So we'll have to keep on pushing for that as well, if you want that. And the IFCS and the VTOL stuff can compensate for huge amounts of things, but I think it should compensate slightly less. I will happily hunt Saurus. Saurus would murder me in a fucking heartbeat. Like, he'd have no qualms about it. He might say a quick joke and then just murder me. He's like... if Saurus kills me, our friendship will survive. If I kill him, I don't know. It will be good. Like, stuff like that. It's all in the game, isn't it? Why you got to be mad? It's all a game. I suspect we'll probably he'll probably extort. Like, maybe we'll have to. I don't know. I suspect that we will be able to survive. Our friendship will survive. That's the sort of stuff I want to do with people from different points of view. The hope would be that I could contact Saurus after he'd killed me or I killed him or whatever, and that we'd be able to get the whole thing from two different people's point of view. I mean, that's great. That's great gameplay. But that's interesting, though, isn't it? It's like, I am going to be lawful neutral. I'm going to be hunting pirates a lot of the time. I might be using them in some situations to fight aliens and to fight other pirates if I can pay them. But the motherboard that I got was... That's a good point. I got a Z 370, my 8700K, and it is It is a ASRock Extreme 4 Z370. It's got... it was good. I looked at all the specs and I compared them all. And I went, that's got exactly what I need. And 12 phase power. And should be pretty good for overclocking. I think it had slightly worse results than some of the other motherboards. But I think it's just BIOS stuff. I think it's a good choice. Not too expensive. Nice. Yeah, so Titan armor is probably going to be a mixture between super heavy armor and the power auto, the power loader from Alien. By expectation, anyway. You'd be surprised at what low kind of CPU you can get away with games, and pretty much everything is GPU orientated. Yeah, 12 gigs minimum now for gaming. I don't think they will see Avenger rework on a large scale. You'll certainly see Avenger updates of materials and light modelling work. And possibly like stuff to the cockpits and things. What most cheap video card to Ultra? Realistically, a 1070. Although I'd wait for a little while until some new graphics cards come out and Bitcoin miners move on to them. Evocati typically find lots of bugs. I have barely used the Thermaltake P3 I barely used Thermaltake P3 show in my storage. I would gladly ship to you a donation. Oh, PC payload. I would have loved a free P3 core. If you've got it spare, I'll happily take the other one off your hands. I could do side by side AMD and Intel stuff. I probably should do that. If you've got it going spare PC payload, I'll take it off your hands. But thank you very much for the offer anyway. Whatever. If I had a quad i5 1050 Ti 8GB RAM, how many frames would that get me? I don't know. You wouldn't have to make too many concessions though. If you're running at just 1080p. Water planets in the 3.0. No, so in 3.0 we've got Yala and Salin. We've got basic moons, Daymar and Dalamar, which is like our moon, I suppose. It's a planetoid, and it's lots of peaks and mining equipment on. So not that much diversity, and not that much in the way of any water that's not frozen in 3.0. The leaks have been very few this time, which is good. Obviously, you get a couple of people in there that are just sort of like, I won't get caught, haha. I mean, I don't know. You can quantum travel huge distances, yeah. So the quantum travel they did last year, the current one, in 3.0 and everything, looks a billion times better. A billion times. I think that's the technical term. So we get in the patch notes. A billion times better quantum travel. But yeah, that's the sort of gameplay you'll get, but a bit better. Maybe manual navigation through jump points the first time you discover them. I think possibly for discovered jump points, yes, you'll probably have to navigate them. Once they've been navigated and mapped, you probably won't have to again. Do you think a Merlin could get accidentally pulled into a jump point if it gets too close? I think you'll probably have to have like a jump drive to actually open jump point. But potentially, maybe a Merlin can go in if something else opens it with it. Maybe. Do you think that the player inertia rules will apply to NPCs when being transported, or will a freelancer full of factory workers run into the worst mosh pit ever during desert fight? I don't know actually. That's a good point. Because you need to secure cargo, but you don't need to secure people. No, I think the gravity stuff will probably sort that out. That's a good question. I don't know. Thoughts on Starfarer versus Gemini, since Gemini now has the same cargo space as the Starfarer. You think the Gemini will get a lot slower and armor's added? I don't think it will get a lot slower. I think the Gemini is just better military variant, and obviously I'd remove the missile pod and put the fuel scoop back on it. I want the functionality, but I think the Gemini is just the military version with military gear on it. So instead of the industrial components, it will have military components as well. Given that sensors will work based on energy output versus ambient, will the same mechanic apply to bases? Yes. I believe that you will be able to detect bases if they're hot or electromagnetically enough. You'll also be able to see them if you're passing over them. And I also think that there will be ground vehicles will be a lot more potent in a lot of situations when you're trying to find exactly where a base is. I think they're going to have specialist equipment for scanning and things. Some ground vehicles. You will. So, yes, the item system 2.0 in, you can take out specific areas of ships, basically, like engines and things like that. In the future, that's going to be much more. You can target systems and subsystems, I believe, much more easily. And yeah, you'll have that kind of gameplay where you can go, let's go for the power plants, let's go for the ship generators. You mentioned you'll be reviving your organisation series and going into 3.0. How will an organisation be able to contact you in order to speak with you regarding it? Contact me on the Reddit or the Discord or message me on the YouTubes. I've got fucking millions of messages about it. I'm happy to take more. The more the merrier. I will be going through a list of ones I specifically want to cover, and then I'll be looking through everyone else's and kind of randomly doing it. So bear that in mind, and I'll try and contact everyone, even if it's like, yeah, but it's going to be a while. Interdiction is an important part of the game, and you need to be able to effectively webify people, prevent them getting away in certain situations. You also need to be able to, yeah, if they know where your travel lane is and everything, and you haven't got escorts, you'll come in, you'll just drop out a warp, and you'll be like, oh fuck, I've got to pay these guys. But you'll obviously be able to send a distress call, you'll be able to try and get away, there's been lots of stuff like that going on. Or you should have taken escorts in the first place. You're not just going to get it like in around Earth or Terror or something. There's not going to be pirates just chilling out there constantly. One giant server could mean that streamers could not avoid snipers, I assume. Yeah, you'd have a bit of delay on stuff, I suppose. And it might not. It'd be quite hard to track players still, wouldn't it? Yeah, stream sniping is always going to be a thing. Unless you put big enough delay on everything. Imperial will be counting on you for intel for your pirate bodies board. 30 pieces of silver is still the going price. Yes, correct, Archangel. Happy to sell anyone for 30 pieces of silver. No, so 3.0 is just live for the Evocati at the moment, which is a select group of around 800 to 1,000 testers. There is a mini-death system and a permadeath system. Will you be able to capture people and say, drive them into the sun to get a permadeath? I don't know if they thought about all of the edge cases like that. They're going to have to look at them. Because obviously, that person could... you could have an annoyed captain with his crew, couldn't you? Or everyone's logged off the ship. One person logs back on, who was a traitor. They go to the pilot chair and they just drive you into the sun. So when you log back on, your ship's been melted. And everyone that's sleeping is in the sun. So yeah, they need to work out the mechanics for that. Obviously, they want to... I suspect even if you got driven into the sun, you'd probably respawn still in most cases. Yes, I bought a 8700K shiny. You think the offline gameplay will be good too? Should there be plenty of AI right? Well, obviously, there's going to be improvements to Arena Commander and Arena Commander as well. So in that regard, there should be some good gameplay there. I don't know if we're going to be able to run it in an offline mode like we can with 2.6.3. People will probably work it out though, won't they? Probably be good for it. I haven't tried it. We'll be able to capture alien ships and find them back to non-human space. In the future, yes. in a lot of situations. I suspect, though, in a lot of situations as well, you'll need some sort of salvage ship to grab them, because they might not be built for humans to interact with them, or in the same language or anything. But if, potentially, if you, like, could read Vandal, and there was a ship with a console you could interact with, yeah, you could probably work out how to get it home. I quite like the Andromeda. It's not for me, personally, because it doesn't focus enough on a particular role. Try not to scratch at my face. When we're going to see jump points appear in game. So, a little while later, I suspect. We might see some more info about them at CitizenCon, because exploring new worlds is the thing. I want to see jump points in as soon as possible. Probably we'll start to see them in game once they've fully fleshed out the Stanton system. Then they'll say, look, do another system and a jump point to connect them. And then we're getting closer to beta. So I suspect that's going to be quite a while. All jump points are actually in game. You think we can place small turrets inside ships for security, like Banner Merchantman, if deals go sideways? Quite possibly. I would expect to see internal turrets, but CIG might go, and we've actually seen them in a video. They showed explosive decompression, but they also showed a turret came down from a ceiling, I think. So yeah, probably. Also, there's going to be NPCs that you can buy. Oh, thanks for the 1 cheer, bro. Anyway, yeah, drop me a message as well, DC Mining. It's a sort of thing I'll try and feature your org at some point, and try and feature everyone's orgs that's desperately want to do it, and yeah, the more merrier for stuff. In what area do you think they Optane drive? I just think it's going to be good in general for high-end gaming. It's going to be a good, fast, basically RAM drive for gaming, and it will maybe they'll load up everything it needs onto the drive. Maybe it's got better access than M2 does. I mean, all the motherboards for the Z370s said Optane drive, new Optane drive ready and stuff on them, so maybe they are really cool. How do you feel about the basketball happy hour that they did? It was alright. I mean, I like seeing the systems and stuff that they do, and I like seeing how the mechanics work for everything and how their tools work. I like the idea that there's going to be lots of little mini games you can do in game. I'd like to see stuff more enforceable as well. Like if I play a card game, yeah, it's all physics or chess. But I want there to be some like in-game enforcing that goes, yes, you won this as well. Suspect updates for pretty much everything in 3.0, like Area 18 and things. But I'm not sure to what extent. Eventually. Probably in like 3.1 or 3.2, everything will be getting merged together into the persistent universe. So once the Evocati have smashed out, well, once the Evocati have helped get 3.0 stable, stabler, then it will go to a wider PTU, and yeah, they need more testers. So the Evocati are there just to get the more infuriating bugs and the stability done. Or at least a lot better. Yes, so the alien languages are fully learnable languages. They are made by the guy that made Klingon, I think. So that's Xi'an, Banu, Vandal, probably Kurthak and Tavaran. They'll all be proper languages in game that you can learn, and learning them will give you some benefits. Probably in regards to little extras and missions and lore and lots of things. I'm against hard survival mechanics. I'm okay with the lighter ones. Yeah, characters getting fat because they're eating. Characters. I like the idea that when you go offline yourself, it assumes your character's eating or resting or whatever. I don't like the idea of any form of extreme sim citizen. I'm okay with NPCs and stuff going to eat and you having to have food stocks for them. What I'd like to see is that the better your facilities on a ship, the cheaper it is to get NPC crew. Let's go, well, yeah, I'll happily work with you. You've got a fucking great ship. Why is there a delimbed male sex robot on your wall? Because it would run away if it had its limbs. It's my practice cuddling torso. Oh my fuck. No, I think in the first iteration of ship locking, it's like from your control panel, so you just lock all outer doors. In the future, you will have permissions, and you should be able to lock doors individually and consoles individually, and give certain crewmen access to certain things. So it'll be a lot more evolved. Good job, Fontaine. Good job. Well done. How long do I think the lever card will last from? It's impossible for me to tell. Like, minor bugs could take them weeks to fix, months to fix. Complex bugs could take them like a day to fix. I don't know what a complex bug is compared to a normal bug. Some fixes could be a click of a button. Some might be not so much. So I don't know. Weeks or months. Don't know. We'll find out more every Friday. And I'll start to know more every Friday as well. Hello, hello! Yeah, it's my practice tool, so mate. So I look at it in the mirror in the morning and just go, come on, abs! Form! Any more questions? I'm going to go eat in a minute. Just fuck you guys. Gonna get a video up tomorrow. We'll see what... Look at that. We'll get all the different headlines up tomorrow. I want to look at the improved multiplayer, the improved multi-crew, cockpit and turret experiences as well over the weekend. I think we're getting a load of information exactly what's going on with CitizenCon on the 13th. And I suspect there'll be a load of news, whether it be leaks or bullshittery or trolling, whatever. I can also cover. Remember, if you want your org featured, feel free to message me. I'll put it on the list, basically. I'll try and answer all of you back at some point, but there's going to be a lot, and I'll put them all on the list. I can't promise I'll feature all of them, but I will try to do as many as I can, many as I think appropriate. Preferably ones that are going to be active for 3.0, and that, yeah, but other than that, I suppose there's no restrictions. It'll be our interview, so I'm going to be interviewing someone from the org, chatting to you, asking you questions about the org, and then and that sort of stuff for video. So yeah, that's what we're doing. What do you think of ship physics? It's getting better. Ship physics is getting better. It's not 100% realistic, obviously. Fun needs to trump realism. Oh, Kestrel, you fucking sexy little... get yourself a male sex doll on me, buddy. No worries, man. Is it $2 for a sex doll? Cool, I'll get 2. Do you think we can finally get more information about Tavarans and CitizenCon? Yeah, maybe. So, I mean, exploring new worlds. I mean, yeah, we might see alien stuff. We might see new biomes. We might see jump points. We might see exploration mechanics. We could see some stuff on the Banu and Tavaran and their languages and the Kerthak. I don't really know. There's a load of stuff it could be. There was little leaks and stuff the other day where people said that at CitizenCon they've hired out loads and loads and loads of the little rooms, and we might see like Solid and all their different tools that CIG have got. Might be like live demos of them. Might be able to get hands on with them. Might be able to see how ships are made in the pipeline. Think of it as like an active ATV with all of the featurettes running simultaneously, sort of thing. So that would be cool if that's true. That's entirely unconfirmed. That was some drunken guys coming back from the Bar Citizens on the 10th. But yeah. Oh my god, thank you for allowing me to do all this fucking... play games and to chat for a living. Like, I fucking love you guys. It's fucking amazing. I'm really looking forward to 3.0 and beyond. Like, EMPs is still a thing in 2.6.3. Boarding is a thing as much as it can be a thing, and there isn't hacking, per se. It's locking of ship doors and then blowing the ship doors up to get in. So you're able to blow them up and then go in the ship like that. I'm doing alright, thank you. I'm very tired. I just haven't been sleeping well for the last, like, month, so I'm going to be tired all the fucking time. I want to get that computer sorted, and then I'll feel a lot better. I will be delidding my 8700K as well. I'm going to be testing it without delidding it first. I'm still waiting for my delidding tool. I will film the delidding process. In case I fuck something up about it, I've realised that I was paranoid about delidding just in case I damaged the processor, though I'm pretty sure that it's very hard to... Thank you for the Mangala hype for Star Citizen 3.0! It's going to be pretty hard to actually damage it, because with a delid tool, it's pretty simple. But if I film it, and I do something stupid and wrong, at the very least, if I do destroy it, I'll probably be able to buy another one for the amount of sympathy views that video will get. So they keep on tweaking and iterating on flight mechanics. I can't discuss exactly what's in the Ivocati, but in this Gamescom demo, Maya and DJ and people said that they did feel different on planets with the movement. Obviously, there's still work that will always need to go into the flight mechanics, because they need to be perfect in the future. So they're certainly not going to be perfect yet. And there are changes. I just yeah, it's just I don't like limbs. I'm just into torsos. You should see my dating profiles, mate. What's your favourite hat? You look like you could rock a fedora. Fuck off. Fucking fedoras. I used to wear loads of hats, mate. I used to wear loads of hats when I was not very comfortable with my hair going bald. Especially when I started YouTube, it was like, fucking wearing caps, mate. Everyone else does. Any news on the hybrid races like Human, Tavaran, no. Vandal Disco? No, there's not, actually, when it comes to inter-race riddings. Yes, if I am at SitCon, I'm planning to go, but I can't confirm, because I don't know if I need to be working or carrying, well, go for my bro that day, which is a possibility, unfortunately, so I can't confirm. But you can hug the fucking shit out of me if I'm at SitCon. Even polish my head for luck. Yes, I will try and finish off the PC tomorrow and get the spec up, and then get it up on in the descriptions. I'll just have a link to the spec. But it's 8700K, 32 gigabytes of RAM, DDR4 3000 megahertz. It's some 3 fucking 360mm super water cooler. I said 370 ASRock Extreme 4 motherboards. It will have an Optane drive. The new one's on the 27th. I will buy one. One of the channel goals we did a while ago. What else is there in a 1080 Ti? That's probably the most important part, actually. That's in my current system. I'll probably always stay on top, or actually maybe I won't. I'd like to start doing 4K videos, because even if you don't watch them in 4K, you get higher quality of like 1080p or whatever, because I can upload with high bitrate. But who is Jared and what is fidelity? No. Have you new PC when you're done building it? No. On the scale of 1 to 10, I would rate it as certainly an Ivocati patch. 32 gigawatts. We don't know when the first PTU is expected. It could be weeks, it could be months. Get on first. So I think that Concierge get first wave. People who have been active on the issue council, you can still be active on the issue council to get it. Subs might get earlier PTU access. I think they did last patch. I could potentially build the rest of the PC on stream. That'd be just literally just me chatting while building a computer, I suppose. So it's be like this, but with me occasionally going fuck and cutting my hand open. I used to run a bespoke gaming PC company, and I used to cut my hand on pretty much every PC. So I could no. If you buy no, I will not give you a terabin. If you gave me a terabin, I'd keep it for myself. Ha ha! How many Ivocati hours have you played? No, I'm tired because I haven't been sleeping well. It's just I suffer from insomnia quite often, and this month I've probably been having like 4 hours sleep a night, and then just lying there going, "Oh, fucking tired," and then eating loads. Oh, yum yum yum, oh yum. Thank you, lady. I pronounce your name now. I fucking love you guys. You're the fucking best. So probably tomorrow or Saturday and or Sunday, I'll be streaming and getting videos up. I like streaming after we've seen ATV, so I can talk about some updates I'm allowed to talk about, and obviously reveal more about things because there's loads of stuff like studio tours I can't talk about yet that I've seen, and CitizenCon's gonna be fucking amazing, and I fucking love you guys. You're the best. I'm gonna go eat, and then I'm gonna go lie down on my bed and watch some anime, and hug my torso, without its limbs. Oh my fucking god. So weird. Right. Like be that Citizen kind of like, oh, how'd you like torsos? Yep. I love them. Can't get enough of that torso action. But thank you very much for watching, guys. I just like to jump on sometimes and just chat. And we will do more of these. I fucking love you. Let's double check, make sure there's no major questions. Question, tea or coffee? Probably tea. Although I love a good coffee. I drink a lot of tea. When do you think it'll give us the first planet to land on? Oh, shit. I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking 3.1, but it could be 3.2 for a full planet. Probably 3.1. They probably want to get a first planet in as soon as they can, thinking about it. Can we just watch you? Oh, that's weird, sexy, creepy. Just leave the camera on board. Just leave it. Is there any word on what revenue streams or model CIG will be implementing to replace the selling of ships, or will we have to purchase stuff with real money? Okay. So, once the game goes live, they will explore other mediums, if necessary, to make more money. But the main ways they will be getting money is selling game packages. So game packages with ships. So think not all the ships or anything, limited game packages. And they will be selling UEC. They'll be selling the in-game currency because, gold sellers will be selling it on the black market and grey market anyway. That will be regulated. There's lots of other stuff they could potentially do. Like, I'm okay with them selling concept ships still, although a lot of people wouldn't be. That's just my opinion. I probably haven't thought it through very well, but I think they should sell skins and decals for ships, and so they should allow us to customize our ships, and they should allow us to paint our ships, and they should allow us some tools to paint our ships so that we can paint like stripes on them and red and white and stuff. But I think they should do really complex special CIG skins, like they've drawn a dragon, or the lady on the Hornet and stuff like that. They should sell them for real money because they're cool aesthetic things that people would buy, and that would help support the game. Obviously, there's going to be almost certainly going to be subscribers for voluntary subscriptions. That shouldn't give you anything in game. That's game that gives you an ability to play the game better, other than aesthetic stuff, and back-end access to cool magazines and things. There's lots of potential things they could do. I mean, they could sell stuff through Arena Commander and Star Marine. They could sell stuff with that for the real money. I don't give a fuck if they sell stuff like that with real money. They can have Twitch integration as well if they wanted to. They could probably sell some cool stuff via Twitch. We'll sell the game via Twitch. And Squadron 42 is going to generate them quite a lot of money. And Star Citizen, yeah, they do need to think about the long term of the game. And I do think that it's in their best interest to have some other money streams coming in. That isn't just UEC and game packages. I don't know exactly what, and I think it's something that the community needs to, or they need to discuss with the community if they do have any, like, well, we'd quite like to do subscriptions or something like that. That's a major thing that they'd have to discuss. Wow. That is how the arms fell off. I mean, there might be implied titty bars like that are player run. I don't think we're going to have sex and that sort of thing in Star Citizen. We're going to have drugs. We might have red light districts.
Tricksy little hobbitses.
Thank you very much, Kingships. I love your fucking face. Will there be some kind of automatic targeting mode for turrets, or at least some target helping? Well, you'll be able to have AI modules for them. You'll be able to have NPCs using them, and you'll be able to slave them, and we'll be able to have a human in them. They're working on the turret experience at the moment to try and make it feel as good as possible. So in the future, you might be able to get like light assist modules, maybe that help you. But I suspect it's going to be mainly human firing than auto aim at all. I suspect it will be. They always want to do skill over anything like that. I just think that the turrets will just feel a lot more smooth. They can get them feeling nice and responsive, and they maybe turn a bit faster than they should. And people can track things with them easily. And that's probably what you want to do with the turrets, isn't it? Make them really fucking good at tracking. Yeah, if you spend $1,000, you're guaranteed in phase 1 of the PTU, basically, because the concierge members will get first wave access. That's what's been suggested. I know that's a bit bullshitty. It is what it is. They want to reward people that have spent a fuck ton on the game. I suspect that first wave access isn't going to be for that long before second wave. It'll be a week or two after first wave access. Oh, look at my... It's going all fuzzy! All fuzzy. Yeah, it should be finished tomorrow, the new machine. Going good. Thanks for the dedication. You're my source. Keeping updated on Star Citizen. Check out Nubafar as well, because I fucking love him. And Super Mac Brothers. It's fucking directly underneath your fucking bag. Call him. Fucking say something about him. Love you. So I'm the carer for my brother. That's what I do as well. So I do content creation, YouTube, and streaming. And I'm the carer for my brother. That's why the YouTube fits in so well for me. I will do these QA live streams probably like twice a week at the moment, once or twice a week, and then lots more gameplay once 3.0 becomes in a first wave PTU. Oh yeah, pay for the tools to make the decals. I suspect they'll sell like individual custom decals for like orcs and stuff. So like, there's a custom test one that everyone could buy for $5. Then they'd sell a fuck ton of them. That sort of stuff. I am a gamer, Chloe. Yes, that's correct. I'm a gamer, and I mostly play Star Citizen and talk about the Star Citizen project, which is a beautiful game. It's in alpha. First of all, thanks. Anyway, Starfarer. Are we going to see some awesome tanking action in the Space Inn? Yeah, but I don't know when. I don't know when, unfortunately. Oh, this all gone fuzzy. Oh, fuzzy, no. Bad green screen. I'll get in a second, maybe. How can I make 3.0 better? As soon as you get access to it, John, give feedback on stuff. Go on the issue council and give your feedback. Help prioritize bugs. Help add to bugs by telling them how you've experienced that bug. That sort of stuff. I don't think they'll do another lifetime insurance reclaimer sale, but you'll be able to buy a ship on insurance and then upgrade it to reclaimer. You're savvy and smart. Yes, I was going to take off 30 minutes ago. But there was more questions, wasn't there? Question, can I get in the second wave of become a subscriber? I don't know with this one. Possibly. I think that happened last time, but that hasn't been confirmed for this one. It's kind of... CIG will say stuff. They'll give us more information about it. I don't want them to overly monetize PT waves, because I don't think that's what they should do. I think that's milking the player base a little bit. Going, well, you can get in here if you give us money. It's just like the $5 access passes were annoying. Where do you get the game clips you show on your vids? Some of them recognised from ATVs, others do not. So yeah, I clip them together in lots of different things. Like, for example, here, it's a mixture of ATV, it's a mixture from live streams and stuff, and then I upscale, yes, upscaling them, I suppose. But I make them prettier and patch them together from lots of different things. This is all Gamescom on the floor stream demo stuff, all patched together. You watch the podcast where you're not allowed to participate. at the moment, I've been super busy, Windlord. So I asked Saurus like 10 minutes before he started, like, do you need me or am I okay to keep on working or whatever? And he's like, no, don't worry, we've got this. And obviously, I didn't want to, and I didn't want to put you in a position where you're not allowed to talk about Evocati stuff, and we want to discuss that. I was like, cool, no worries at all. There wasn't anything like that. I probably could have jumped in if I wanted to, but I don't think they wanted to put me in a position where they're discussing about leaks and stuff, and I'm like, ooh, because me and Twack were uncomfortable last time when leaks were discussed on podcasts and stuff we've been part of, but not so much anymore. We're good. We understand what we can say and we can't. Will CIG make monsters, aliens, animals we can fight and kill and loot? Yeah. This is Sandy. This is Sandy Gardner. She's not the monster. This is something that Sandy posted the other day. We're gonna start to see aliens. We're gonna start to see weird creatures. I need to fix that fucking. I'll do it later. Sorry about the fuzziness. Like, I don't hate it when it's on other people's streams. Sorry that it's there. Apologies. But yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Let me link that to you if you want to see that. But Sandy's Twitter is a good source of leaky information. That's not that leaky because they release it when they want to. Yeah, I think we'll see lots of different API integration in the future. Yeah, fleet management, org management, lots of cool stuff. As soon as 3.0 goes to a wider PTU, people that come in here that are in the Discord or the Reddit, yeah, of course we'll play together. I'm happy to do that. I know we won't have to rotate people out and things, or first in kind of thing. We'll have to be first in, I suppose, because I'm not going to faff around too much on stream. But yeah, happily play together. Yeah, there'll be more weapons and more loadouts for ships and more items you can buy even in 3.0. Yeah. The tests are certainly going. The testing is going smoothly. What is your view on leaked images of the Vanguard cockpit? It's not leaked images of the Vanguard cockpit. It's the monthly report images of the Vanguard cockpit. Tech design. So this is the latest monthly reports. These are amazing sources of information, but they are a bit long, so I do videos on them. So we've got the Vanguard and the Sabre cockpit has been reworked. So there's a Void Bomber. There's 4 ships that we don't know what they are, that they're keeping close to their chest, which are probably concept ships that are coming this year, which are probably the Game Changer, the Sabre Raven, the new Tumbrel vehicle, and something else. There's a lot going on. Yeah. What ships can deploy an Ursa rover in 3.0? Constellations, Starfarer, maybe the Caterpillar. I mean, it's built for the constellations, obviously, but we'll get into the larger ships as well.
I couldn't choose a sound for being hosted, so I decided to.
I played lots of other games, so at the moment I'm playing PUBG, Warhammer, and Warhammer 2, Total War, Natural Selection 2. I'm going to be playing Destiny 2, anything with the 2 in it. Destiny 2 when it comes out. Lots of VR, multiplayer co-op games, Bridge Crew, Raw Data. Going to start playing that hopefully later tonight. Quite a few things, to be honest, but at the moment just that sort of stuff. Thank you, I appreciate the love. Loving seeing the beginning of cloud tech in ATB. Yeah, so the cloud and fog and mist tech, the way it's all going to be merged together and stuff. One of the devs was talking about it the other day. They are really investing time in getting as many GPU particles as they can, really good fog tech, really good smoke tech, and I'm really looking forward to what they're going to have for the Cloud City and Crusader. Are there plans to expand Star Marine to allow larger battlefields and vehicle gameplay to similar to Battlefield? I don't know if there's official plans for that, but I would expect that. And I would expect like the Idris as a level and stuff like that as well. Ships will be stealable in 3.0, and they will persist as stolen. So you'll be able to steal a ship, you'll be able to put it in your hangar, someone else can or take it out or whatever, someone else can claim that ship back, but it's not going to despawn the stolen ship. They'll just get another ship as well. And if you're flying around and seen with that stolen ship, you become a criminal. It's the idea. That's the intention, anyway. Right. What would I recommend for cargo or space trucking? So my actual recommendation is to try and get 10 recruits or referrals in Star Citizen if you can, and then upgrade your Gladius to a hull B. That's the cheapest way of doing anything for cargo and space trucking. A very entry level of cargo, Avenger Titan, fucking great ship for that. If you're going into much more cargo, kind of Merchantman is cool. I'm not a massive fan of any of the Hull series, but the Hull series are probably the most focused cargo haulers. Right. I'm gonna go and get some fucking food. This is online. I love Tessa, but she's playing Destiny 2. Angels Unknown is playing Battlegrounds. Baku's a friend, but he's playing Overwatch, and fuck that game. It's even actually online. This is Uber Nerd going online. But yes, so I think people will be pretty surprised and happy with 3.0. Yeah, I fucking love you guys. Thank you very much. But watch ATV tonight. I think it's going to be good. Should discern a lot of what's happening with 3.0 as well. With regards to mining, we're about to blast asteroids. The idea is to have voxel asteroid mining. So yes, that's the plan, I believe. How serious are CIG about getting the physics of Star Citizen right? So not serious, not super serious. Like we're going to have orbits and rotations and stuff, and it's going to be cool, and it's going to be fun, and it's going to be gameplay orientated for fun. But it's not going to be 100% accurate. I don't know what I'm going to eat yet. Probably like a bacon sandwich or something. Although I've got a beef joint that I need to cook, so maybe I'll cook that beef joint and have just something small. Ships are going to be lockable in 3.0, yes. Lockable, and also doors will be able to be blown off as well. So you can lock your exterior doors, only the exterior doors, I believe, and then you're about to blow them up. Boom. Make sure you check out the monthly report, though. Make sure you check out my fucking channel for all the latest Star Citizen informations. I fucking love you guys. I'm going to go fucking host to Uber Nerd. He'll entertain you. Will I be able to milk any of the mobs in Star Citizen 3.x? You can milk. Can you milk me, John? I've got nipples. Okay, there he is. Let's go fucking host him. Love you guys. Talk soon, guys. I'll be back tomorrow or something.